Okay, so let's look at monkey twins. So if I have a C and a C, they're called unison. It's the same note repeated. But if I have, we talk about skips and steps. So if I got from a C to a D, or a D from back to a C, it's one step. Or it's, as this says twins, it's seconds. So we call it a second. C, D, that's a second. D, E, E, F, F, G, G, A. Those are all seconds. So basically a note away. So we're looking at this geometrically. It's a line to a space, then a space to a line. Space to a line, line to a space. Line to a space, back to a line. So we're going up by one, down by one, up by one, down by one. F, G, F. G, F, G, F, E, F. So we're going up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, next one. And those are twins. It says monkey twins is because it's seconds away. So seconds meaning geometrically. Geometrically, 3 giraffes, it's 3 notes away. So we skip a note. So it's called a third. We build chords in triads. That's why we've got C, E, G, or 1, 3, 5. It's a third away. So this is C. And let's look at it geometrically. It's a line to a line, back to a line. Space to a space to a space. Line to a line to a line. So we're looking at line to space, line to line, or space to space, sorry. Line to line or space to space, either up or down. So if I know that this is C, I don't actually have to remember, okay, what are all these notes? I can go C, it's up by a third, and play that up by a third. Down by a third, so you skip one note. Cool. Sorry. What's happening? What's happening? Okay, sorry about that. Okay, floating clouds. Floating clouds. You're going to lift your hand up so that we can hear that this is a phrase. So just as I've done now, I said that this is a phrase, and then I started my breath again. And often when we're speaking English, we don't necessarily have a rest in between, although I like to rest so that I can let everyone think about what's just happened. It's part of hermeneutics and the study of speech making, which I studied at university. But it's very helpful in teaching. So this is a C, an E, a G. So we're going up in thirds and then coming down. But what you're going to do is you're going to go C, and only pick up that C once that E comes down. Only pick up that E once that G comes down. And it's called a slur when the notes go into each other. So C, G, not C, E, G, but C, G, G, F. Oh, and don't play these 2 lines together. There's no bracket here. It sounds really bizarre if you put them together, because that's a D and then that's randomly an A. So G, F, E, D. And then lift up your hand. That small lifting up of the hand actually helps us to understand the rhythmic phrase. So you're going to lift up your hand slightly and then put it down. Okay, left hand, we're going C, E, G, E. And lift up the hand in between the phrase, because you can see there's a slur. So even though I don't have a rest here to say, okay, this is the end of something, we're phrasing things together. It's almost kind of like a comma instead of a full stop, maybe. Okay, cool. Lifting balloons. Lifting balloons, still you're going to lift the hand up. So the hand's going to be down, and you're going to lift it up. And lift it up by the wrist. So just lift up the wrist slightly. So you're going to go E, F, G, E, C. Just want to move this a little bit. E, D, E, F. And you're basically going to play, as soon as you've put the F down, then you can take that E up. As soon as you put the G down, then you can take that F up. So the notes go into each other. They're slurred. Like someone who's just had medication, the words kind of slur into each other. Okay, students. Tides chord. Now, the ties is it looks like a slur. Can you see that little bracket thingy looks like that little bracket thingy? This one is a slur. It's two different notes joined together almost like a phrase. Sometimes those phrases are small, but if this is called the note head, if this is joined, this F is joined to that F, it means that this is held for 2 beats. Why? Because mathematically this bar has got to add up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can't make it 2 beats and then this one kind of has the vacuum here of a note that's, or a beat that's not there, so make that 5, then that's 3, and then some kind of vacuum. Instead of doing that, the powers that be, in their wisdom, said, okay, let's make a tie between the 2 notes that ties it over the bar, but we hold it for 2 notes. This would be C, D, E, F, E, D. So this D is held for the same amount of counts as this F. Cool. So this is the slur, this is the tie. The tie is over a bar line. So F, E, D, E. Just pause the video just to play it through every time. And even lift up your hand over here in between these long phrase slurs. Okay? And bring it down. So we've got G, F, E, D for 2 counts, E, F for 2 counts. Okay, cool. All tied up. Okay, can you see there's a slur from here to here because they're different notes, and there are different notes in between them. But these are ties. That's a tie. That's a tie. That's a tie. Same notes over a bar line. That's a tie. Same notes over a bar line. That's a tie. So we would go E, G, E for 2 counts. F, D for 2 counts. E, C. So that one's 4. Well, that one's 3 because it's 3/4 timing. 3 plus 1 is 4. So we held for 4 counts. And then E, exactly the same. E, G, E for 2 counts. Cool. 4 crows. So you can start to see a pattern here. They're talking about twins, thirds, fourths. 4 crows means it's a fourth. And we start to learn geometrically what a fourth looks like. A fourth geometrically, if I know that this is C, I don't even have to think about, oh, what is that? Oh my gosh. We're gonna say, oh, that looks like a fourth, and you just play the fourth up. And then you play the fourth down, and then play the fourth up, play the fourth down. So the fourth looks like a line, and not the very next space, but a space up. So it's opposites, line, space, but they're not together. So it's the space is not a second. It's a line up plus a space. So lines, bigger jump, space, line, bigger jump, space, line, C, D. Can you see it's a space and bigger jump line? So it's opposite. Line, bigger jump, space. But it's not jump all the way here. It's the next line down plus a space. Space, line, space. So we're going to go C, F, C, F, C. But you don't have to think about the notes. You think about the first note and where geometrically it's going. Okay, that's exactly the same. C, F, or C, up a fourth, down a fourth. Then start at this D, D, up a fourth, down a fourth, up a fourth, down a fourth. Quickly pause and then play through that. Cool. 5 rabbits. Now we're on to fifths. So how does a fifth look? Well, it looks like if I have C, E, G, which is a chord that's built in triads, I'm going to have a line and a line and a line and 3 notes on it. So a line there. I'm going to have another line and another line. Now, if I take that middle line, that E, or that middle note, C, E, G, take that E away, I'm going to have C, G. So it's a line to the, 2 lines away, to the fifth. Okay? To the fifth. So if you're in a 5-finger scale, the fifth will be your pinky if your thumb is on C. So C, up a fifth to G, down a fifth to C. Up a fifth, down a fifth, up a fifth, down a fifth, up a fifth, down a fifth, up a fifth, down a fifth. Very easy, but your brain is starting to connect the dots, if I can say. Geometrically, what does it look like to have a fifth? Okay, C, G, C, G, C, G, C, G. These are the same. Okay, with this exercise, it's quite interesting because these two, C, G, C, C, G, C, it's exactly the same. Now we're getting to different notes, same fingers. So this will be a thumb, pinky on your right hand. On your left hand, that will be in the C position, a thumb on G and your pinky on C. So you're playing C and a G, then you're playing a G and a C. So you're playing opposite notes, same fingers. If you both hands in the C position. In other words, left hand, pinky on C, right hand, thumb on C. Cool. Melodic intervals. Cool. So we're going up a second, and they're just solidifying this in your mind. Up a second, down a second, up a second, down a second, up a third, down a third, up a third, down a third, up a fourth, down, up a fourth, down fourth, up a fifth, down a fifth, up a fifth. Cool. So C D, C D, C E, C E, C F, C F, C G, C G. Okay, cool. And this one's the opposite way around. And we're playing this independently, so don't put them together. Unless there's a bracket there, then you can put them together. You can maybe see how this sounds if you want to put it together, but it's not necessary. So here we go. G down by 1. G, F, G, F. So G is our staying note. G, F, G, F, G, E, G, E, G, D, G, D, G, C, G, C. Cool. And again, just pause in between and play through this like twice. I did it again. Sorry. Harmonic intervals. I'm swiping the wrong phone. I need to swipe this phone, not the one I'm taking a video with. Okay, so now we're putting them together at the same time. So we've got a C and a D, which is the second. A C and an E, which is a third. A C and an F. C, G. Cool. C, F, C, E, C, D. Now let's look at that. That's the second, because it's line to space. That's the third, line to line. Fourth, line to upper space. Line to fifth. Line to... So the melody could be the one that's going this way, and the harmony just the C, or the melody could be just the C and we're harmonizing. They probably mean in this case that we're harmonizing with the D, E, F, G, F, E, D. Okay, so it's walking up and down. Same here, all the G's are static. They don't go anywhere. So G with an F, G with an E. So this is how a second looks, how a third looks, how a fourth looks, how a fifth looks, how a third looks. And you start to really, a fourth looks, a third looks, second looks. You start to really get used to these patterns. It's really, really interesting. Okay, clip, clot, trail. Just some more. Second, third, fourth, fifth, right hand. G with an F. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Cool. Echo Canyon. We've got a slur there. So this is a fourth. Cool. C to F to G to F to G. So we've got a fourth and then a second. So they doing it by random jumps. We call it steps and skips and jumps. A step is a second and a skip is a third. A jump is more like a fourth. Okay, cool. So this is C, upper fourth. Exactly the same as this. C, F, G, F, G. 3 counts and a rest. And then F, C, E, C, F. And then F, C, E, C, F. Cool. Chords are fun. So this is how we build a chord in triads. We build a chord, we give it its friends in triad C, E, G, or in thirds. that's a third there, and that's a third there, or 1, 3, 5, a third and a fifth. Why I say thirds is because G is a third from E. So a third from C to E, third from E to G. Okay, cool. Let's play that C chord in the right hand. C, 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 C. Left hand also C, 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 C. It's just that your eye starts to get used to how it looks. Melody and chords. Left hand plays the chord. We do this a lot in class already. C, D, E, F, G, 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 F, E, D, C, C, and you're going to play a chord. 1, 2, 3, rest, or 4, 1, 2, 3, rest. It's actually quite challenging to make this one rest while this one's walking over here. Quite interesting. Same thing here, except the hand changes chords. So the hand is doing a C, while this hand is walking C, D, E, F, G. So this goes to G, C, D, F, and on the F you're going to rest this hand, which is quite challenging actually. Then G, G, and that's for 4 counts. This chord is for 3 counts and a rest. This chord is for 4 counts, and we play this together. And we're going G, F, E, D, C, C. If you want to make it more challenging, very importantly, if you want to make it more challenging, put the metronome on with it, because then you know it's perfect. Because we think we're perfect whenever we play these exercises, and they are not so much for being perfect. We want our songs to be perfect. But it'll be very challenging, because then you'll see if you kind of leave a note here, like a space, a beat here. So put the metronome on quite slowly, maybe 60 or 80 BPM. And you'll see where you need to shape up a little bit. Very interesting.